do here is we just experience ourselves. Just experience ourselves. What the self really is. Not what it appears to be as the mind, body, person that we think we are. But as we really are, as that pure self, pure being. And in order to do this, what we do is we just be really simple, innocent, open. We don't mind anything, really. But we can be awake to our mind. We can be awake to our mind that is thinking, has its opinions, concepts, judgments, all that. That's the mind. And all of these perceptions out here, too, are also mind. It's really mind. It's all mind. And so what we want to do is to be with the self. Be with the being itself. The being, it's not hard to find, really, because it's everywhere. But it's the hardest thing to find by the mind. The mind can't know it. The mind can't get it. So we don't look for it. Just be simple, innocent, open. Because in this whole space around us here, the space of silent presence that's now beginning to embrace us all and maybe penetrate a little bit more deeply into the body-mind idea, so that the sense of who I am is not so localized to the little body. It's not you as the person, the body, that is viewing this, really. Well, that's what it appears. But really, you, who you are as the self itself, is this field of silent presence. It contains the body-mind viewing the world out here, viewing this. So what I want to do is to come back to that, because it's so simple, so innocent, so beautiful, so completely free from the mind, the tormentor. Mind is a tormentor. And it's always in conflict. This is the thing with the mind. Always in conflict. Very little respite there from that tormentor, constant tormentor of the mind. All sorts of things go on, and some things that seem to be important. Are they really that important? Because now, when we sit here and the silence and stillness is all around us, and the being, the pure being itself, gets a chance to spread out a little, not be so confined to the just the little body. And what happens is the awareness expands. It was so trapped in that little body mind that given it any chance it can get, it gets out of there because it doesn't want to take any more of that tormenting mind, the torture of the mind. So it wants to get out of there. And this is with the self. And of course, the self has, in reality, it's never been affected, never been touched, really, by that crazy mind. But the mind has been so dominant, it has overshadowed the being, the self itself. It's just overshadowed it. And we couldn't know the self. We couldn't see the self. We didn't know who we are. We just thought we were this person, little person in big, big world and universe. And this little person always subject to circumstances, situations. Didn't really, always, in a sense, always a victim to the circumstances. No. The weather, the life, whatever's going on. You can't really do anything about it. But this is the thing, is that who you are in reality is not this person that you think you are. Not this person. Who you are that gets recognized by the self itself. It's the self itself that recognizes itself as being this space, this stillness, this presence, this wakeful awareness itself in which the whole world is contained. And in that, it's not affected by the weather. It's not touched by the weather of the mind. Mind is like the weather. It's always changing, always changing. So what we want to be is to be just out of the mind and in this real center, the center of the self itself. And the center of the self is, well, it's everywhere. It's unbounded, unbounded and free from the whole body mind. And we're not trying to make a mood, get you into a mood, or to give you something to wish for. No. We're just talking about what is really here now. What's really here. Maybe the mind is so dominant that the being itself can't see itself clearly. But that doesn't mean to say it's not here now. It is here now. You, who you really are the now, or is the now. So we're just coming back to the reality of who we really are. Beyond the time and space, the me and the mine, and the you and the we and the they. Let's come back to the real self itself. who we really are, that is not touched, not affected by anything, really, not affected by anything. And the thing is, we don't come back to that by going within in meditation. That's what we thought. Well, yeah, we go in, we come to some nice level of silence, and that's a beautiful thing, silence there. It's nice. But we're talking about the shift to being that, not just experiencing it, but being that unbounded, silent presence, silence. And that happens to be everywhere. It's not just somewhere deep in meditation. No, it's always been everywhere, all around. We say underlying, but it's really permeating, pervading all the objects and phenomena, including the body-mind. It's everywhere. And because it's everywhere, it has been completely elusive to the mind. The mind can't get it because it's just mind finds itself at the point of the person. So when the mind is localized to the point of the person, how can the mind possibly know the infinite reality of who I am, what the self really is? It's not possible. So we just give up trying to find it with the mind, because it's useless. It's useless. It's useless. And so we just be present, be still, be innocent. Allow there's a clarity, a pure clarity that is just beyond the edge of your whole peripheral vision, and like a sheen over and under and beyond the whole field of perception all around us, like that. And it's not, the mind can't find that. It's not the mind that finds that. It's the self itself, the being itself, that sees itself, that remembers itself, that comes back to itself, that opens up to itself and remembers, oh, I am that, not this body. And of course we know that ultimately that being is all there is. It's everything, everywhere. But it initially has to recognize itself, become awake clearly to its unbounded infinity, that it is not just a temporary experience, but that is the all-time reality of who I am, of what you are. And so we just be innocent, simple. Don't really even listen to the words in the sense that they are, teaching you something. No, they're not teaching anything. They're just really what they are is a flow of consciousness. And that's really But all the seeing is to when we see objects, we see the object, but we don't really see the flow of consciousness, our own consciousness itself, that is meeting itself and greeting itself through every interaction, every communication, every activity. And so the self itself is ever in the process of experiencing itself and deepening its own experience of itself. So if it can get out of that false identification with the objects of appearance out here and really see itself, seeing itself from everywhere, then it gets free from the idea of the me and the world as being the dominant reality. It's not the dominant reality. It only appears to be a reality in the first place because consciousness is conscious of itself and creating the appearance of the objects and phenomena around us. So we want to be with this consciousness of that is just falling into itself. It's turning back upon itself. It is inviting itself to know itself more deeply, more fully, everywhere in the whole space around. Behind the mind and the body idea. It's beyond that. Beyond even the objects of perception that we see that we think are so real. They're only real because it's your own consciousness gives it the reality, the apparent reality. But then it gets caught in the objects and phenomena and the little body mind. So it is so simple and open and innocent as we listen to this in a way that it's an art, the art of listening. And because ordinarily we listen with the mind and the intellect, they're analyzing what everything is being said and maybe trying to figure it out, maybe trying to correct. Oh, that's not true, intellect says. And so that busy little bird of the mind is there flying around, making all these observations and all of these concepts, judgments, opinions, ideas. So that little bird of the mind, they wanted to just fly away. Just to fly away, and so that what's left is the clear, pure sky. Clear, pure, boundless sky. That is just free of the noise of the mind. Because, the sky doesn't have any problems. Maybe the air does with the pollution. but the sky itself is there. You say it's there because it's free from the objects and phenomena within it. And that's just an analogy, of course, because something right here now is free from the body, mind, person. And really, the sky is right here now. It's not up there, out there. Well, it is everywhere, really. It's unbounded, pure being itself. It's the unbounded. We can't really say blueness, but we can say just the freeness. The freeness. It's so free. Free. It's so free. And so the thing is, it's not about understanding anything. It's about not knowing anything. We don't need to know anything. We don't even need to understand these words. What is taking place is all of this is just the appearance of consciousness itself, flowing within itself, deepening its own experience of itself. And what a beautiful thing that is. What a beautiful, grand a thing that is. When we're not caught in the vortex of the objects and phenomena that are all around us here, all around, causing our senses to look at this and look at that, causing the mind to go this way and that way, think this thought, feel that emotion, experience that sensation. Look at that object out there. Look at that. You know? So we're caught in that. Maybe vortex is the wrong word. But if we could actually get caught in the real vortex of consciousness, conscious of itself, then that would be a beautiful thing. That would be a beautiful thing. Because in that real vortex of consciousness, flowing within itself, awake within itself, it just throws off all of the ideas of these solid objects that are appear to be so solid and real. Because it is the flow of consciousness experiencing itself that creates the appearance of all the objects and phenomena. And so we want to be with the pure flow of silence. It's a flow of silence, falling back into its own self, getting caught in its own orbit. No, not getting caught in the orbit of the mind and the objects of perception all around us here. This is the thing. And that's what's been happening. We've been in the orbit of Earth. Caught just in the orbit of the Earth. and it's sucked us right in. And really what we are is the unbounded space. It's free from that. Free from all of that. So this is what we do here, is just remind in a sort of a different way, maybe a sort of a subliminal way. We remind the self of itself, that it's not really, this body-mind doesn't really end at the boundary of the body-mind, of the boundary of the skin. The self itself is boundless and free. It's boundless and free. And it is that which has been free all along from the mind. That's tormentor of the mind. There's always been a part of the self, well, it's been the real self, that has not really been totally caught in it and totally involved. And so it's that little piece of the being, little part of the being that is there, that can see itself by itself, not with the help of the mind. With the help of the mind. When the mind goes in there to see it, then we're in the mind. No. That stillness and silence and kind of just wakeful presence, moment, light of consciousness that is right here now. It's what sees itself. It sees itself from its own unbounded perspective, its own lofty field of boundless infinity. And so it sees the body there. It sees the body sitting, and it and it knows, in reality, I am not this body. I am not this body. I am that which is not the body. We can call it it's not an observer. It's not really an observer or a witness. Even though we use those terms. Because what it is, it just knows I am not this. I am not this person. I am not. Maybe I don't know what I am, but it knows, because it sees it, and it sees that, oh, I'm separate from this person. So this person can go ahead and function, and yet I remain uninvolved, the uninvolved witness to the whole activity of the body, mind, and world. And so we just be with this silence, this stillness, this presence, but don't go inside into a meditation, a silent, eyes closed meditation. No. It doesn't give a chance when we do that. It doesn't give a chance for the witness to recognize its infinity, which is this field of awareness that is all of these objects and phenomena are contained within. All of these objects and phenomena around us, anywhere we go in the world or universe, are contained in this unbounded freedom, unbounded awareness, in this pure being itself. It's just pure being itself. It's your real self itself. So we keep the eyes closed, or keep the eyes open. Open or closed, if the being can see itself, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We can have them closed. But if the being can see itself out here and everywhere, even with the eyes closed, then we could say, okay, that's who I am. I'm it. But if the being cannot see itself with the eyes open, then the shift has not happened. The shift to being that field, it's a field in which all of these objects, all of these perceptions are contained. So you see, it's not a matter of just being the witness to the body-mind. It's when that witness remembers itself as being the field of pure awareness in which all these objects and phenomena are contained, that has absolutely no end to it. It is completely infinite and unbounded. Then we could say, Eureka, yes, I am that, and that is free. It's just free from the crazy mind. That mind, that is such a, it causes torment. We say, of course, even the pleasure experienced by the mind is a torment compared to the bliss of the being, the bliss of unbounded awareness itself. So we want to be free, just free. And of course, the reason for that, aside from that's who we really are, and it's what has been all along, aside from finding the true reality of the self itself. Aside from that, what there is this self itself that is everywhere, unbounded and free. It's the self everywhere. And the self has been in its own process of experiencing itself like it's doing right now. It's just experiencing itself and creating and recreating and upholding the objects and phenomena of the world around us right here now. It's quite important. It's a very important thing to be who you are as this unbounded awareness itself. That is, every split second, creating and upholding the appearance of the world and the body, mind, and the whole universe. So it's doing this in its constant, perpetual remembrance of itself, self-experiencing itself, self-referral flow, consciousness, falling into itself to remember its own infinity, falling at every point within itself to remember its own infinity, and creating in the waves and the splashes of the flow of infinity collapsing to a point within itself and rising in the remembrance of its infinity. It creates all these waves of intelligence, cosmic intelligence. But what it really is, and it appears, all this cosmic intelligence appears as the forms and phenomena all around us, in nature, everywhere, all around us. So it's creating the appearance of form and phenomena of the whole creation, constantly in its perpetual experience of itself. Well, this is what's taking place in the unboundedness of our being itself, regardless of what the mind thinks. Mind can't comprehend this. It can't know this. It's not the mind. It's the being itself that becomes more awake to itself. It remembers itself. See, it's remembering itself constantly, right now, all around. And this remembrance of itself is what creates the presence that we experience in the space around us here. So this presence is really, the self itself experiencing itself. It's not an experience. It's not an objective experience by the mind. Actually, it's your own pure subjectivity that is awake to itself. It's pure subjectivity. When the shift to being that has really happened. Before that, it's just an imagination. All just imagination. All just mind. And yet, even if the mind is there, what is transpiring that the mind can't really deny all around us here now, everywhere, the whole space around us is a little bit more excitation in the space around us, a mellow excitation. I'm not talking about a dramatic energy, a kundalini energy. I mean, that may be there too, but it's only there because it's a constriction. It's just a constriction, like the nozzle on a hose. It constricts the flow of water, and like that, these kundalini experiences are just an indication that there's some constriction there to the pure flow of the water of infinity itself, water of infinity. But of course, we don't restrict anything. If anything begins to take place, we just don't resist it. It's all good. Some clearing is taking place, some opening is taking place, and so we continue to allow that, to allow. But really, the being itself, when it's awake to itself as a presence in the whole space around us, it is more like a gentle fluffiness that is surrounds us and penetrates deeply into the body mind with a gentle purge as it's purging out all of the non-self, the idea of the non-self. That's what gets purged. You know, all the stress, all that stuff that we call stress. It's really just because the self isn't experiencing itself at every point within itself. And so it begins to penetrate more deeply into itself. And that's what we call stress release. When that takes place, if it's coming out a little bit way that gets us into the mind, gets us into the mind. Otherwise, what it is, it's a gentle washing machine, a gentle cycle. It is gently purifying not only your body, but everybody, everywhere. Everybody, everywhere. Some of those bodies are not in the gentle cycle. Not on the gentle cycle. More, the heavy cycle. So all of that stuff that we see in the world around us, it's only they're in the heavy cycle, but they're still getting cleaned. Hopefully, may take a little longer. May need a little bit more stain remover to add into that. But what we know to do is we just be with the being, with the unbounded awareness that's really free from all of that. And what it's doing is it's really deepening its own experience of itself. Like that, it's cultivating its own boundlessness and getting in a little bit deeper into itself to touch something within itself that is just so incredible, that it is speechless. It is just well, of course, it's always speechless. It's beyond speech, beyond everything. When the being itself opens up a deeper level of itself and finds that deeper level of itself right up here on the surface of life, then more of its true divine reality is disclosed to itself, open to itself, like this. So a greater in the wholeness of the being all around us here, awake, a greater beautifulness and divineness and fineness and a sweetness is found and present in the infinity of the being itself. It's just, it opens up more to a grand majesty of its own boundless invincibility, its own boundless Shiva. It's the Shiva itself that opens up to the Shakti. It's this, the Shiva itself is unbounded awareness and free, not really affected, touched by the body-mind emotions or anything. No. But when it goes more deeply into itself, when being the pure Shiva Purusha goes more deeply into itself and becomes awake to the total reality of itself, which is everything, everywhere. And it finds, oh, this world is not a world out here. The world, in fact, is the internal reality, the appearance of the internal reality of myself, of the being itself, of being itself. Just expressed in form and phenomena. That's all. But it's really the internal reality of the unbounded infinity of the being itself. And so a greater depth of the wholeness of the being is finds itself. It just finds itself everywhere, all around, just loving itself and just being more intimate with itself and smooching with itself, because it's so beautiful. Everything at every point, everywhere is so beautiful and divine. How could we have thought that it was just something separate from us, a separate world? And really, it's so intimate. It's the internal mechanics of the intelligence inherent in the boundless consciousness itself that is really designing and painting the image of creation all around us here. And so you see, it's why without being fully awake, being awake to itself, is that in that first shift as being this unbounded pure awareness. Well, it can't recognize itself as being everything everywhere without that. What, you think some little person is going to see itself as being everything everywhere? That's not the way it works. You, as the little person, is not the one who gains unity consciousness. I hate to inform you of this, but that's the reality. No, it's you who you really are as unbounded, pure awareness that remembers itself, that opens itself up everywhere within itself to the instantaneous remembrance of itself that, oh, I am all of this. I am all of this. And so that's how it happens. It has nothing to do with you, the person. All of these states of consciousness, nothing to do with you. So forget about the idea that you, as the person, are going to get enlightened. It's not going to happen because you are not the person, and you never have been the person you think you are in the first place. It's that's the mistake. That's the mirage, really. And that's it. And so we have to come back to a reality, to the true reality of who we really are, to this boundlessness of the being that is present everywhere in the field all around us here. Pure omnipresence. It's the pure omnipresence that remembers its omniscience, that it is everything everywhere. So without that omnipresence, forget about it. Forget about it. So we're just saying we want to come back to give you the reality, so to get out of the idea that you as the person are going to get enlightened, because it's not going to happen. That's not what happens. And so and it's, but we'll say one thing about that is that it's the person through which the unbounded infinity itself can all of the qualities of intelligence and waves and frequencies of itself experiencing itself can become awake at the point of the body. So the whole of nature can come awake at the point of the body-mind. And that's what the body is good for. It's not good for enlightenment, but it's good for the nature after enlightenment. It's good for the nature to have a point where the nature itself can experience all of its cosmic flows of the knowing of itself through at that point. So we're good for something after all. Body-mind is good for something after all. And it's because the body-mind is not an individual. Body-mind, it never has been. The body-mind has been cosmic all along. It's been cosmic. And so what it is that the cosmic consciousness itself awakens to the cosmic intelligence that has as a seat of remembering their own frequencies of infinity itself at the point of the body. That's what wakes up through the body. That's what wakes up. And so that is what the body is for. It has been the repository is that the right word? I'm not sure. of nature itself. The whole of nature itself. The whole of nature itself appears in the point of the body-mind. Every body-mind, everywhere. The whole totality of nature is there, present. The whole true divine nature is present. We say at the point of the body, but it's really the cosmic body, the cosmic aspect of the body, which is unbounded. And so what happens is in the really true awakenings that take place is that we find a completely different perspective than what we thought, what the mind thought it was. We see that the mind was completely out to lunch in its ideas of what it thought was real and was thought was true. It only sees just a small, tiny fraction of the truth and reality, and so no wonder the truth on every level is so polluted these days. It's so polluted because the true reality of the self itself is missing. And so we have to come back to who we really are and just be the true simplicity and innocence that we really are, and have this real being come awake to itself, this real pure light of clarity, pure clarity itself, see itself, because that pure clarity, that boundless infinity of pure clarity, is awake to itself, everywhere within itself. It's fully awake within itself. And so this is the basic, fundamental, not experience, but reality beyond experience. It's not an experience. It is the reality that is. It just is. So that's the most basic thing, because how can we otherwise really begin to float and to swim in the ocean of divine being, divine consciousness itself, the real, true reality of everything everywhere? We wouldn't be able to see it. We wouldn't know that it's here. And so let's go for a swim right now and allow the ocean really to swallow us up, just to swallow us. And so we just let go.